Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I'm joined by Cyrus Pattinson. Cyrus, how you doing today, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. Just finished the tough beach session, so just on the way to my next session.
Perfect, mate. And obviously, we'll get straight into it. So, headlining against Chris Jenkins on March 18th. By the way, what a fight for yourself. It's one of the fights in the matchroom schedule that's really kind of got me excited for. It's like kind of an under the radar fight, I think, with all the schedule that got announced. How did the fight kind of first come about in your eyes? Was Chris always someone that you were kind of eyeing for?
To be honest, Chris has been at that level for such a long time. I mean, when I was on representing my country for Great Britain, held the British and the Commonwealth titles, so I know he had been at that level. Uh, but after I think it was after my last fight, the matchroom asked if I was ready. There was a few names that were through towards us, and obviously we came up with Chris Jenkins, like so, be a good fight.
It definitely will, mate. And kind of obviously, as you mentioned there, kind of Chris has fought at a high level. Obviously, he was competitive with kind of three big names that are kind of let's say fringe kind of European level at the moment. So you're Echo Esserman, Florian Marku, and kind of Tyrone McKenna. He did lose to those guys, but he was
Yeah.
competitive in those fights. Kind of why, in your mind, now was is kind of the right time to fight Chris Jenkins in your career?
To be honest, I'm ready to fight whoever. So I mean, the names that Matchroom brought to the table, I was ready to fight either any of them. To be honest with you, so it wasn't. It's not like we're cherry picking and we're looking for certain fights because I know it's going to be a tough fight. Uh, that Chris Jenkins is just a name like that came out at the current time. So that's the opportunity that we're taking.
Perfect. And as I mentioned before, kind of I think this is your sixth fight, isn't it? Am I right?
Six fight, yeah.
Perfect. And obviously, we'll get into your kind of amateur achievements in a minute. But obviously, your sixth fight isn't kind of late on in your career. That's It's quite early on, and obviously to take someone like Chris, kind of obviously we see a lot of these Team GB fighters kind of moving very very quickly. Was that after the amateur achievements? Was that kind of something that you wanted to do? Move quickly in your career, kind of go straight into those kind of high level fights.
Hey, yeah, like I'm not really bothered about taking my time. Like I'm 29 in a couple of months. So um I think it was just Matchroom have been providing these opportunities and I've been taking them. I mean I fought an undefeated Frenchman for the 8-0. My last fight was against WBC Mediterranean champion who had never been stopped. Uh and I think these opportunities are like I don't know if Matchroom half expected us to knock them back or us to knock them back, but we've been taking them, and I'm a firm believer when opportunities present themselves, it's you're ready to take them. So, uh, I'm headlining a show, which was I do believe, which was a lot quicker than what I had expected. But I always knew that I was gonna get to that level. But six fights in, I'm headlining the Metal Radio, which has been a massive part of my life. Really going to watch boxing there, watching me at Converse, Dimitri Salita, the Ritson shows. So to be headlining at that stage, it's I'm buzzing for it.
Perfect, mate. I was going to say you've just answered my next question without even me asking it, mate. But
Yeah.
but no, that's great. Obviously, you said you're fighting in your like kind of near your hometown as well. Kind of what an opportunity it is for you. Now we've discussed kind of that fight, mate. I want to take you all the way back to your amateur achievements, if that's okay. I'm gonna read a few out to you, and please add any if I've missed any out as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
So under Team England, you won four gold medals and one silver medal. And I think one of those golds was in the Tri Nations as well. And then
Yeah.
for Team GB, you won a silver medal and one bronze medal as well. Kind of that's a lot more amateur boxing medals than I've won, mate. But how for you when you look back on those achievements? How do you look back on your amateur career?
To be honest, I don't really look back, uh, but especially for too long. Like if obviously yourselves brought it up, so like I do reflect, but it's only briefly. Like I'm not ready to build a trophy room yet. All my trophies and all my medals and stuff like my nanas and grandas. I mean, I won that title. I won my last title, my professional title in I think it was out for about 3 weeks, and I put it back in the case, and it's out the house now. Like, because I don't want anything to rob us of any ambition, and like I'm not ready to build a trophy room. Like I keep saying, like the stuff I want to achieve next, and I'm always looking forward. But I know that like to be happy, and you've got to be content with where you are and what you've achieved. But uh, I don't want to try and sit and like indulge on my accomplishments. But I am proud. I am happy. Uh, I was kind of through in the deep end. I mean, I think I got a JB with 30 fights. So the people that was fighting were like 100 plus, 150, 200 fight seasoned amateur championship medal winners. So uh, I think I've done pretty well for GB, and I think it was a massive part in defining and kind of and molding me. There was a lot of hardship, a lot of hard lessons to be learned, but I do believe that through that 6, 7 year that I was with GB, like it's made us into the fighter that I am today, and that's probably why I'm able to progress faster than what was probably expected of us.
Perfect, mate. So it's kind of more about um not getting complacent. You don't want to soak in all your achievements at one go. You want to keep focusing on to kind of professional titles now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, uh, there's always the next fight, isn't there? So I'm always looking onto the next fight, and obviously after you fight, you win your fight, and you have a little bit of downtime, and you kind of give yourself that pat on the back, and but after that, then it's time to get your head back down. The past is the past. You're only as good as your next fight. So I believe I'm getting better every fight as a professional, and I'm just excited to show people kind of who I am. And I think I've been like fighting on the road for most of my career. Uh, as an amateur, you know how it is. You fight in all these Eastern European countries. I fought in Mexico, fought all over the world, and then even as a professional, fought in London, Barcelona, Nottingham. So it's been rare to be able to fight back home and to have my friends and my family and people support us.
Perfect, mate. And again, what an opportunity it is for you, and best of luck on March 18th. Cyrus, thank you for giving me your time today. And my final question, a bit of a deep one. I do apologise, but what does boxing mean to you?
Means a lot of things, to be honest with you. And I always say like boxing, I wouldn't say I fell into boxing. I would kind of say I fell into boxing because uh boxing was kind of form of self expression for me. Like my mum was unwell when I was younger, and I was getting into trouble, and I was I had no direction and stuff, and boxing kind of give that to us. It always appealed to us, and uh, it kind of put my life on track. And once I started winning, and like I took quite a natural to take into it, so I was good. I was undefeated for like my first 9 fights, I think, or 10 fights, and so that's kind of I've never really looked back from there, to be honest with you. And it's given us everything in my life. It's made us someone. It's made us proud of myself, and so I mean, it does mean a lot to us. It's hard, but it means a lot.
Perfect, mate. Well, Cyrus, that's all my questions, mate. Short and sweet, but thank you again for giving me your time, and best of
No,
luck, March
thank you very
18th.
much, Regan. No, I really appreciate it, mate. Thank you.